All right. Welcome, everybody. Here we are, Luxinda Swirl. We are going to double glove and use all proper safety procedures today because we're using resin, long sleeves, and a respirator, and actually goggles as well. And this is our mold. I will have links to everything down in the description. Using KS resin again. There's the resin, and there is the hardener, 1:1 by volume. I mixed up about 4 ounces total in that cup I just showed you. And we're also going to use Pinata alcohol inks today. We have 3 colors and white: magenta, blue, yellow. That's what we're working with today, keeping it simple for my first time. We have some baby wipes that cleans up spilled epoxy really well. And here I am mixing for 3 minutes after I combine the hardener with the resin. I'm mixing in front of my heat gun, which is turned on. It helps eliminate bubbles. And this is what I end up with. Now, each of these holds about 3 or 4 ounces. I'm only using about 1.5 ounces per round. I'm going to do 3 rounds for you today. And the reason I'm using so little is because this is just a test. I want to try this out, see how it goes, and do a little experimenting, but not in case of an accident or if it doesn't work out, waste a lot of resin. So we have our 4 ounces split amongst our 3 cups. And we're going to pop those bubbles with a little heat from the heat gun. And now we'll start using color. In this first one, the first round, I'm only using the magenta and then the yellow and blue. I am not using any of the white. People will tell you that the white is necessary to push the colors down through the epoxy, and then if you don't use white on top of the other colors, you will have basically colors just sitting on the top where you've dropped them and not within the coaster. So I'm going to see if we can get around that problem even without the white ink in this one particular round. So there we have our 3 colors. Now I'm going to do the other 2 rounds where I will be using white. So let's put some color in these. Just randomly dropping some yellow. This one I'll put it right in the middle. And then we'll do some blue, also randomly dropped around this one. And going for a slightly different pattern here. Slightly different. Again, this is just a test. I'm playing with these, seeing how it goes. And then I will add some magenta to both. I'll put the magenta in the middle of this one and around the outside of this one. And lastly, the magic white. I'm not going to put it in that first one. I'm only going to put it in the second and the third ones for the reasons I already stated. You'll see in a second, I started having real trouble with this bottle. Even though I tried to open the tip with a toothpick and I squeezed, and I was just not getting a whole lot of controlled droppage out. And I was afraid if I squeezed a little too hard, I would get way more than I wanted. So I ended up with drops in both of them. Not exactly where I wanted them, but it worked out okay. Obviously, I'm going to have to transfer the white I have to a different container for the next time I do this. There's something wrong with this one, clearly. Okay, so that one I am going to add more colors on top of the white. So we're just going to inundate it with color. Again, blue, magenta, and then yellow, or yellow then magenta. Let's see. Yep, okay, yellow and then magenta. Lots of beautiful color. Now, will this have any difference with the white? I don't know. Well, again, this is all an experiment. Now I'm going to pop some more bubbles with the heat gun. And I am going to have a wait for 5 minutes, which you won't have to sit through, but 5 minutes later, hit the resin again with the heat gun, pop more bubbles that have come up in the interim. And now I'm taking a toothpick and I'm going to do a little swirling, because swirling makes everything better, as you know. Here we go, swirling the toothpick through these colors to see if I can move them around, because there is no white to do the work for me. And then, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I will swirl this one as well that has all the extra colors in it. See if that has any effect. And I won't do anything further to the third one. And now I'm going to put a cover on it and let it all sit and cure and harden for the next 24 hours. See ya! Hey everybody! Okay, so it's been 24 hours since we did these. We're going to unmold everything that we did yesterday and see how it looks. I'm going to start with the one where I didn't use any white at all. And then I swirled a little at the end with a toothpick. And here's what we have. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. That's what that looks like. Isn't that pretty? Again, I'll do a close-up in a minute. Okay, here's the one where I used only 1 drop of white on each color, and then I decided to swirl at the end. Hopefully I will have explained all about the white when I do the voiceover, so that part won't be a mystery. There's a little bit of white that came through. I love the colors and where they ended up, and you can still sort of see the swirl pattern I did at the end. And then, last but not least, we have, yes, that's what you get. I don't dislike any of these. I think they're all beautiful, but it just sort of confirms my desire not to use so much white ink. Be back in a minute with a different camera so you can see these up close. Alrighty, here we are with a different camera that will let us zoom in and stay focused up close, I hope. Here we have the one with no white. I just think that is so pretty. Let's see if I can do this better. I just love how that looks. Okay, here is 1 dot of white after the colors. I added more colors at the end, but put white in, but then did not swirl it at the end. Worked out. And well, like I said, I think they're all pretty in their own way. I must admit that personally, I prefer the one without any white. That's just a personal preference. I know it's not everyone's choice, and I'll do more. Now that I've had fun playing with this first lot, I'll definitely do more. And I'll be able to maybe figure out a way to use the white in a way that I like. Okay, talk to everybody later. Thanks for stopping by.